first one, if you notice, E corresponds with E, F with F, G with G. There's no rotation, reflection going on. They look the same size. There's a translation. What does number 2 look like initially? Looks like a reflection. Do they look the same size as each other though? No, they are not the same size. If they are not the same size, then they are not a rigid motion. They must be the same size to be a rigid motion. Okay, Wx is on top. W prime, X prime is on the side. Obviously there was some sort of spin going on, so this is a rotation. And again, they do look roughly the same size. Number 4 looks like a reflection over a line that I drew. Number 5, point B moves 8 units to the left, 5 units down. What rule describes this transformation? Well, first write down B, X comma Y. There's 2 ways to write this rule. If I'm going to the left, that's the negative direction on the x-axis, so that's x minus 8. If I'm going down, that's negative direction in the y-axis, so y minus 5. The second way to write it is to write T, translation, I mean, negative 8, comma negative 5. So there's 2 separate ways that you can write this. Okay, find B prime if ABC is reflected over the y-axis. So we don't have to find the whole triangle, just B prime. Here's your y-axis. So the distance from B to the line of reflection, 1, 2, 3, must be the same distance from the line of reflection to B prime. 1, 2, 3. B prime. Located at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3, comma 3. Find C prime if it is translated right 4 down 5.
Isn't number 6 negative?
No, it's over here. Thank you for checking. Oh man. Okay, right 4 down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please do catch something if I make a mistake. So that's C prime. Coordinate is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, negative 4. Yeah, this next one doesn't make much sense, but yeah, let's just skip number 8. No, we can't. Okay, find the slope of the triangle, cross out triangle. Find the slope of BC. If rotated 90 degrees counterclockwise. So right now, what's the slope of BC? Up 2, left 2. What's that slope? Went left though. Yes, negative 1. Slope of BC currently is up 2, left 2. 2 over negative 2, negative 1. Okay, let's rotate this puppy 90 degrees. Copy it on my patty paper. Spin it 90 counterclockwise. This is where I'm at. This was BC before. So what is the slope of BC now?
No.
Up to, right to.
It's just positive.
So it's a positive one. B prime, C prime slope. It's a positive one. Okay, rotate triangle ABC 90 degrees counterclockwise about the origin and graph A prime, B prime, C prime on the coordinate plane. Give the coordinates of the ordered pair for A prime, B prime, C prime. Okay, use your patty paper, or you can just use your coordinate rules, which you had to memorize on that piece of paper. So try number 9. All out. That's your coordinate rule. Could use that. So if B, I'll start with A. If A is at negative 2, 6, my coordinates will switch. Front one will come the opposite. If B is at negative 4, 1, they will switch places. Front one will become the opposite. Bless you. C prime is at negative 2, 1. They will switch places. Front one will become the opposite. If you want to perform this with patty paper, bless you. You have to draw your beautiful triangle. Trace down your axes. Hold the pencil down. Spin 90. And voila. There she is. You would trace down those coordinates. B prime, B prime, C prime. Cool. Next page. Describe in detail the transformations from pre-image triangle ABC to image triangle DEF. Starting here, getting there. What does it look like happen? Translation. They're not rotated anyway. So count how many right from A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. down 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's my transformation, or you could put 7 comma negative 4. Okay, next one. So we're going from this one to this one. Initially, you can try rotating it, but probably not going to work. What has to happen? What does it look like has to happen? Got to be reflected. One way to check that, if you have forgotten, is you trace down the original image. And without flipping it over, see if you can get it on the other triangle. And you can't. It's impossible. You'll have to flip your patty paper over, which means it requires a reflection. So first things first, let's reflect over the y-axis. So big R. What's our rule for reflecting over the y-axis? Do you remember? Yes. Negative x. Why? One way to remember this, when you're reflecting over an axis, that letter will not change. The other letter is the one that changes. Reflecting over the y stays the same, x changes. So if I reflect over the y-axis, this is where I'm at. Right there. So what do I do from here? Translate left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down. 2 to the left, 7 down. Translate left 2, down 7. Our coordinate rule for this, x minus 2, y minus 7. You have to memorize these rules on that pink sheet of paper. Triangle ABC has these coordinates. Reflect triangle ABC over the x-axis, then translate right 3, and label it A prime, B prime, C prime. Okay, first graph those points. Plot your triangle. Okay, reflect over the x-axis, then translate it right 3. So if I'm going to reflect over the x-axis, the distance between all of these will have to be the same. So you have two options. Here's the option I recommend. You copy this down on your patty paper. When you reflect with patty paper, draw in your line of reflection. Everybody got that drawn in? So I'm going to pick this patty paper up, flip it over, and put that line back on itself. So there's my new image. Now I have to translate right 3. So I count right 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Here we are. So this was, we believe, that's A. Makes this A prime. The one out here all by itself is C. C prime. B prime. You could draw in your new image. Okay, second way of doing this is just performing the coordinate rule, finding the new spots. If I reflect over the x-axis, what happens to my coordinates? X stays the same, y goes negative, correct? Okay, if I translate right 3, what happens? Zero, negative 2. This would be A prime. If I reflect this one over the x-axis, what do I get? Negative 1, negative 5. If I translate right 3, 2, negative 5. C prime. Reflect over the x-axis. 3, positive 4. Translate right 3. 6, 4. C prime. You can graph those 3 dots. That way is just as efficient. But you have to understand your rules. Triangle ABC is rotated 180 degrees counterclockwise to produce an image. Describe the series of transformations that will produce the same image without rotating the pre-image. We've covered this once before. Do you remember what it is? Correct. We call that a double reflection. So, a double reflection is the same as 180 degree rotation. Reflect over the y axis and then the x axis. Double reflection. Ooh. When you're looking at a triangle, how many sides does it have? How many angles? 3. So a total of how many parts? 6. So we're going to have to list 6 things that are congruent. So angle A is congruent to which angle on the other triangle? E. Angle B is congruent to
Angle F.
angle F. Angle C is congruent to D. Those are the first three parts. Now we need the segments. Segment AC is congruent to segment ED. Segment AB AF. Segment BC FD. BC FD. Okay, so next one. Are these two triangles congruent? Prove your answer.
Yes.
How do you prove two things are the same? Put them on top of each other. Perform a rigid motion and see if they are the same. So let's prove this. I'm going to trace it down. I'm going to slide this thing down 1, 2, 3, right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maps right on top of itself. So these are congruent. To prove this, I am taking my coordinate, performing the transformation of right 6, I believe that's what I counted,
Yes.
down 3, translation is a rigid motion and proves congruence. Be careful, we're going from M to M prime. M prime is the image, M is the pre-image. Okay, number 16. Right 3, down 4. 1, 2, 3, 2, 4. Same with A. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is B prime. This is A prime. Page again. Reflect over the x-axis. So what is the coordinate rule for reflecting over the x-axis? What? X stays the same. Y is opposite. Down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How much further must I go? 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is B prime. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. A prime. So the distance from A to the line of reflection must be the same distance from the line of reflection to A prime. That is the rule of reflections. Okay. Rotate 270 degrees counterclockwise. Do we remember the rule for that? X and Y switch places. Now which one becomes negative? The X. If you can't remember which one becomes negative, here's how I can help you. If this is where I am, and I rotate 270 degrees, which one of these is negative? The number in the back, right? This will be a positive x, negative y. The number in the back becomes negative. Because this would be an x comma negative y if you're in this area. If you're in this area, you're positive positive. If you're in this area, you're negative positive. If you're over here, they're both negative. And that's why when you rotate 180 degrees, they're both becoming opposites. Alright, here we go. Here's the fun part. Get your compass. Okay. So you must set your needle on A, pencil on B. Set your compass to that length. Make a dot just below A. Put your needle on that new dot. Make a small mark. Alexis, the compasses are up here in the box. Draw a line from the dot to that mark. I would please make your mark big. I need to see that mark. Next page. Bisect the angle. The word bisect means we're going to make what? Two what? Two equal circles. First thing I have to do is make an arc, though, so I know where to put these circles. So I put my needle on the vertex. Make a small arc that touches both the top and bottom of that angle. Now I put my needle at the top where my arc intersects the top of the angle, and I make a circle. It doesn't have to be a full circle. It can be a half circle. Without adjusting the size of the compass, I put my needle on the bottom of the angle, make another half circle. Where these two half circles cross is where my angle bisector will go. Good job. Now copy an angle. Remember the first step for that? Draw a line. Put a dot on the left side of that line. You're going to make a small arc going through the original angle, just like we did before. Needle at the vertex. Make an arc so it touches the top and the bottom of the angle. Put your needle on this dot. Make the same arc. A little bigger. Okay, I'm going to measure the size of this arc that I made with my compass. Put my needle on the bottom. Make the pencil come in a little bit. Set it to the length of this arc. Put my needle at the bottom over here where this arc hits the bottom of my angle. Make a small mark. Now when I say small, don't make it tiny. I have to be able to see it. The top of my angle must go through where these lines cross. And boom, got ourselves copied angle. Okay, to make a 45-degree angle means we have to make a 90-degree angle, which means we have to make a perpendicular bisector. So the first thing that you'll want to do is draw a line. Keep it relatively small. By relatively small, I mean like 3 inches or less. Put a dot on each end. First we have to make a line before we can, bisect it. So to bisect this line, I'm going to make two circles. Bisect means you'll make 2 circles. They must at least hit each other, so the needle on one dot, the pencil must at least go halfway to the other dot. You don't have to make a full circle either. We talked about this. You could just make the arc at the top and the arc at the bottom. You don't actually have to make a full circle. Put my needle on the other dot, make the same 2 marks without adjusting the size of the compass though. Where they cross each other is where I will draw a line. So this is my 90-degree angle. That's all I'm looking at now. It's that highlighted section. So now we have to bisect that angle, which is back up here to the one I first did. First thing to bisect an angle is you will make 2 circles, but you need to know where to put those circles. So you have to make a small arc with your needle at the vertex, and you have to touch both the top and the bottom. So you're probably going to have to adjust your compass to be fairly small to be able to make this arc. Once you have made this first arc, all you have to do is make 2 circles, with one being the center here at the top, one being the center here at the bottom. The circles must be the same size. Again, you don't actually have to make a full circle. You could just make a small little arc if you prefer making the circles, by all means. Where they cross is where I will draw my line. So this lower angle right here is how many degrees? This is 45 degrees.